Hi everyone, this is your girl Nikita, and welcome to the Perfectly Powerful You podcast. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Perfectly Powerful You podcast. I'm your host Nikita, and I trust, hope, and expect that you all are having a wonderful day, that you're enjoying your life, and that you are doing positively tremendous. That's an excellent one for today. So adopt this however you would love. I am feeling invigorated. I'm feeling very fresh. I'm feeling very like I would love to step into something more. So today, as I'm feeling inspired to lean into the next chapter of my life, however it is that I would love to define it, I would also love to help you guys in defining and helping refine, clarify, all that great stuff, your dream. And to be able to do that, we got to sit down with ourselves and be able to really listen to what is emerging for us. So, as I've been really leaning into the success of my life, super excited, jazzed, and really thankful for everything that is emerging right now. I'm also getting so much clarity on all the things that I am so loving about everything that's coming up in my life, and also so many things that maybe I do not love as much. In order to continue down this path, I always love to check in with my dream and remind myself if it's actually a fit for the life that I am living currently and what I would love. Because as we're stepping into living our best life, living the dream that we would absolutely love to live every single day, there's always going to be new things that come up for us because, as I mentioned in other podcasts, we don't know everything that's meant for us in this life. There are billions of people who surround us. We have many years on this planet to be able to figure it out, or rather experiment and have fun. But the fun of it really is that there are unanticipated things that we did not, come into our vision because we just didn't know they existed. But when they do reveal themselves, and they always do, it's really fun to be able to say, "Oh, I didn't even realize this was a possibility for me. Well, now this feels like it's changed some things. Now I would love this because now this is emerging for me and I really want more of this." And maybe when you were originally defining your dream, or maybe you don't even have a definition of your dream yet, which is what we're getting into today. But the more things that emerge, the more we're stepping into this life that we are beautifully and radiantly living, more things are going to emerge, more things always emerge, and to allow and continue to guide our life in the direction of where we would love it to be because we are very powerful, we are so deserving, and is absolutely within everybody's capabilities to guide and continue to co-create with the infinite universe that surrounds us because we are deserving an even more expansive life. We are deserving an even greater life. And so today we'll start from the very beginning of how I got started with asking a very powerful question. What would I love? A quote by Thomas Edison that I just came across in my notes as I was looking through and wanting to describe a little in better detail this podcast is, "You can't realize your dreams unless you have one to begin with." And up until now, I definitely didn't really have a path for my life. I kind of just allowed myself to go with the flow. And I say, well, it seems like most people have jobs and have children and have like a white picket fence house and like all of these beautiful things. But the thing is, it didn't always define and or resonate with myself. So I was kind of going about life. I was like, well, it seems like after high school, most people go to university. After university, most people they seem to like go into their masters and do whatever. They kind of pick something and they're locked into it, and that's just who they are for the rest of their life. But that is for most of us, we know that that's not true. Once we actually start living our life, we realize that there's so much more out there when we choose to embrace it. So, to start off with the question, what would I love? For myself, when I was first introduced to this question, what would I love? I honestly did not have a very substantial answer. I had a lot of conflicting thoughts. I had very limiting thoughts because I realized that there was a part of me that didn't believe in the possibility for more in my life. And I didn't actually give myself the option to have more in my life. I just kind of took the conditions based upon my life, the certain amount of money I had, the certain amount of like education I had, the like my gender or my identity as I knew it at that point in time a number of years ago when I first started in my life work. And now, at this point in my life, it's only been a few years that I've been really leaning into even more of this, that there's even more defining things that I'm stretching, I'm growing, I'm living into this life. And I ask myself, what would I love now? Now that I'm living more of my dream, what would I love now? And this is always a question that I come back to because, again, more things are being revealed. I'm actually living the life of my dreams, and there's always more content, more people to give clarity, more content to give clarity, my own feeling state to give clarity, and the broader population evolving and giving clarity. So even if this is the first or 100th time that you've asked yourself, what would I love? In order to manifest your dream, you gotta have a definition and clearly defined image of what you actually want to see in order for it to make manifest. So, to start with this, what would I love? I write this down on a sheet of paper and I clearly label it big title, what would I love? And then the second thing I do is I pop it in my 4 quadrants. So whatever one is really resonating with me is the one I choose to focus on. You can focus on all 4. I choose to, and what I've realized in my journey is that having 2 or 3, generally 2, is a really solid set to get the ball rolling because as you start to transform in one area of your life, everything full circles. So it's not just it's kinda like you're not gonna spot reduce when you're working out, or you're not gonna, like, spot clean, you're going to, like, get the entire house, you're gonna get your entire body. But maybe you're gonna focus on a certain things, and then the others fall into line eventually. But in order to create precision, focus, and clarity, I love to have a broad overview of this is what I would love in my relationships, my health, my time and money freedom, and my vocation. And of those 4 things, I pick 2 or 3 that I would love to focus on. And this is where, for you, on your first step, or 100th step, depending on where you're at in your delving into what you would love in your life, my recommendation, start with the question, what would I love? And start to just imagine possibilities. So I would love to clarify here, we're not imagining possibilities based upon the confines of what you believe are your limitations in your life right now, i.e. your paradigms. So your paradigms are set beliefs and or values that you have about how you should live your life. So up until now, there was a part of me that said, I can't start doing this because I don't have the money, or I can't even begin to think about like pursuing this because I'm not old enough, or I can't do this because I'm, I don't know, not a man, or I'm too young, or whatever it is. These are specific paradigms that may come up for you. They may look a little different, but they feel constricting in your body. They feel limiting in your body. And we're working with the infinite here. So when you're writing down and clearly defining what you would love in your life, when those emotions and feelings come up, because sometimes they will full force when you're getting used to the idea of what you would love. And we're not diminishing our dreams, we're not diminishing possibility because we're scared, because we think it's not likely, because it hasn't happened up till now. So how am I expected to do it in the future? When I say all things are possible, even if there's only a small part of you that may believe this, hold on to and grow that small part of you. We are working in an infinite universe. Everything is created twice, first in our thoughts, then in reality. The ability for us to fly in planes never existed, but it was always a possibility. The ability for us to drink smoothies out of plastic cups wasn't a possibility, or it was always a possibility, but wasn't a thing. It was just someone who thought about it, said, "Oh, I would love to transport this liquid into something that maybe is like yay high, yay big, and can has like a big opening in the center, and I'd love to drink from it from a really long vessel that I can use my mouth to like suck it up, and I can transport it wherever I need, i.e. a straw in a cup." Simple, right? But up until now, there was a point in our human existence where things like that on a very what we feel small scale versus on a big scale like flying or big scale, we're always expanding, and big and small are relative and neutral depending on your perspective. However, everything, and I mean everything, is a possibility. If you can think it, it's a possibility. And even if it has not yet emerged in your life now, don't worry about it. Right now, at this step in your dream building, we're just clearly defining what's seeking to emerge for you. Where is your longing and discontent? Where are you looking outside yourself and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'd love to live that life"? I'm seeing that person either like on their boat or by the beach, or like living into their dream body, having the man or woman of like such loving and like committed relationship, of a fantastic and successful career that is known all over the world. Whatever it is, clearly define it, see what feels expansive, write it down, put in your 4 quadrants. So, what's seeking to emerge for your relationships? What's seeking to emerge for your time and money freedom? What's seeking to emerge for your health or your vocation? These are all pretty much like concrete facets in everyone's life. And I usually do the 4 because it helps just guide things in a very great direction of just clearly defining. I would also love to say that be patient with yourself, because this may be your first time or maybe not. Maybe you're just stretching a little. At any point in our life, we can consider ourselves new, but be patient with what's emerging. I know up until now, I definitely held my dreams very small because I just didn't have that same ability to dream big in my body. I was operating on certain paradigms that said only this is possible for me, and I'm not deserving, and this just feels unlikely or impossible for me. And then slowly, as I stepped into this vision, I was mentored a lot. I'm still being mentored. And I think it's because with everything that's emerging in our life as we're continuing to live this life, even more things are going to come up to allow us to expand. It's not going to happen all at once. But when you start with your dream, you can refine it. But you got to start with something first. Just like building a house. You can say, "Oh, I'd love a happy house. I'd love a successful house. I'd love a really nurturing house." Fantastic. But what does it look like? Because when you tell that to a log house builder, they're not going to have the blueprint for it, because they say, "Well, what does a happy house look like for you? What does a successful house look like for you?" And you're like, "Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'd love it to have a foundation. Amazing. And 4 walls. Perfect. I'd love it to have a roof. Awesome. What kind of roof is it? Is it thatched? Is it made out of hay? Is it flat? Is it maybe triangular? Are there multiple roofs on top of each other? Is there a slide?" All of these details are important for the construction of a house. Is there a sink and a faucet? How many bedrooms are there? Do you see your children playing around in there? Is there a white picket fence? Is there a big yard? Is there a pool in the back? Is it close by other bodies of water or in a forest? These details are important because your successful house, your very happy house is absolutely possible. But unless you have a very clearly defined vision of your house, i.e., your life, i.e., your relationship, your health, your time and money freedom, your vocation, It is all possible, but you must first clearly define it within your mind, first in image, first in thought, then in reality. Now, the second thing I would love to touch base on is once you have clearly defined your vision and you felt into it and you feel so good about it, you feel so expansive about it, I would love you to write down this next question. Who did I have to show up as to have those wins? So, to have this dream, to have these goals, to have this big, beautiful house or this amazing, beautiful relationship, whatever it is that's seeking to emerge for you, who did you have to be to show up like that? Because there is absolutely a version of you living that life. If you can think it, it's a possibility. And don't worry right now about any of the details working together. We're just having fun here. We're just using our imagination here. We're just playing. And that's what all of this should be. So when you're asking yourself the question, who did I have to show up as? Because chances are, because of the life you're living currently, you are thinking different thoughts, you're taking different actions, you are a different person. Now, the person who is living the life of your dreams is thinking different thoughts and taking different actions. Now, so something I love to use in my own life work is the results formula. It starts with your thought, and then there's a feeling, then you take action, and this equals your results. So, since we know that everything starts with a thought, if you change your thoughts, you change your results. So, who are you in this vision version of you? Are you thinking about how sucky it is to be in your current relationship? No, probably not, because this is your dream. You're probably feeling, or again, just take this as some inspiration and or examples. You're probably feeling amazing. You're saying, oh my gosh, like I'm with this person, like they're amazing. Like, and I know I'm so deserving of this person because I'm amazing. And when two amazing people meet each other, I mean, there's just sparks that are flying. I feel so committed to this person. I know this person feels committed to me. I feel loved. I feel amazing every single day because, oh, like this is my dream version. And so, those are different thoughts. If you're currently in a relationship that does not feel like that, then it means that you're still living that current path and on the same trajectory of that version of you. So this is where more imagination comes in and more play and more fun. So again, this is your dream seeking to emerge itself. It's in your brain for a specific reason. It's nobody else's dream but yours, and you are a very unique expression of the infinite universe in this life. So when you are playing around with your imagination because you've already clearly defined your dream life, whatever it is, and now you're saying, who is that version of me living that life? What is he or she thinking? What is he or she feeling? How are they taking their certain action steps in service of this dream? Because maybe up until now with your health, maybe this version of you is so athletic, so fantastically flexible, vibrant in every sense of the way, looks a specific way, feels a certain way, taking different action steps. Now, as you become even more clear with your vision, and you become even more clear with the version of you living that life, you start to connect things. Now, energetically, you are taking that life outside of you right now and you're putting it on like a hat. You're trying on this life and you're feeling, okay, how do I feel in this life? And again, using our imagination, playing around a little bit. Let's say that maybe you really want to be a firefighter and maybe right now you are not a firefighter. Maybe you're just like a grocery clerk. But what does a firefighter feel like? Well, they're wearing big, heavy suits. They're brave and they're rushing into fires to save people. I bet you they feel courageous. I bet you they feel very proud of themselves for such honorable work. I bet you they go to the gym to feel even stronger to help keep up with the workload of firefighting. They're surrounding themselves with other firefighters because that is their vocation. That is their tribe. Those are the people who are thinking firefighting, living firefighting, dreaming firefighting, because this is the life they've chose and they're surrounding themselves with those people. So you don't have to like fantastically step into that, but you can feel it out. You can feel if there's something emerging for you like firefighting, then clearly define what it means to become a firefighter in your vocation. Think about what it feels like to wake up every day and know that you are a fighter. No one can take away your imagination. No one else is in your head but you. And when you know that you can think and feel regardless of circumstances, you're just playing here. It's so empowering. And the more you lean into it, because again, you may not know everything that it means to be a firefighter because you're not there yet. Just like with the certain relationship, the certain health goals, the certain time and money freedom, but you can feel it. No one can take that away from you. And again, be patient. There are certain things there that are continuing to emerge, but I would love for you to experiment in your life. I've seen the results for myself the more that I play, the more that I have fun. And it's not meant to be stressful. That's where I'm going to remind you guys that it's not, okay, now I have to, what does it mean to feel like a firefighter? Think, feel, think, feel, think, feel. It's okay. Relax. It's all good. We're playing here. We're seeking to manifest the life of our dreams. And it's not a have to, it's a would love to. I'm sure you're here listening to this podcast and watching the video because there's something more calling you. And we couldn't be here together unless there was something else guiding us together. We're on the same frequency here. But now that you've clearly defined your vision, now that you've had the question emerge, who is this version of me showing up as? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Write it down, try it on like a hat. Do you love this? And maybe there are some things saying that actually, maybe I don't love this as much. But keep playing with it, keep trying it on, keep refining it. You are not locked into anything. It's just a matter of coming back to the question, what would I love? And then after you've thought about everything, our next step is to plan your work and work your plan. Now, I took this from my grandpa. He was and still is, God rest his soul, but in my heart, he's still here, a very, very inspiring man. And it was something he said to me all the time. He's like, Nikita, remember, plan your work, work your plan. Because that is how things make manifest. If you clearly define, like we have previously, our dreams, and we've thought about and envisioned how we feel while living those dreams, now, in order to actually make manifest your dreams, the infinite can only do for us what it does through us. We take action, and it doesn't have to be anything huge, it can just be a step. We're living in the stretch here. So your dreams are going to feel like a bit of a stretch. They feel like, okay, now I've got a clear, defined vision about what I want. What is the next step that I can take in service of making my dreams a reality? Because not only does this create even more strength within you to say, okay, I'm committed to this dream. Thought about it, I felt it, I know how feel it goes to like feel how good it feels to live this dream. Now, let's live into it even more. Let's live into it even more. Okay, I've taken a step, I've taken another step. Let's live to it. Let's live into it even more. But our plan of action needs structure. So energy loves structure. So when we're creating a definition of our beautiful, beautiful life that we're living, we felt into it. We have even more inspired insight about how that version of us is living this life, feeling into this life, thinking in this life. And now we're going to create again with fun, with play, with a stretch involved. We're going to create structure. So let's say you created a year plan for yourself. Perfect. So maybe you have a certain time and money goal in mind. Let's say in all actuality, you've only been making like $50,000 a year. And then if your goal was to make a million is absolutely possible, but does it feel like too much? Listen to your body. So we're also not only working with the infinite, not only working with like the material world, our energy, we're working with our bodies. So we need to make our goals believable. If they're not believable, we're less likely to make it happen because we just don't know how. When we're working and co-creating with the infinite, we don't have to know the how, we just know the how is known. But when we're doing something where in our minds we say, I would love this, this would be amazing, $1 million, it would be awesome. I haven't made that before, but let's do it. But our energy is saying, it's not possible, I don't know how, I'm not even gonna bother trying. There's some discrepancies here. So when we're creating our plan of action, we got to make it believable. We want to make it a stretch because this is how we create even more expansion in our life. We're moving into something a little bit newer, but we're still working with ourselves, right? We're still living into this life. So if up until now you've only made $50,000, play around with it. Would you love to double it? Would doubling it feel excellent for you? $100,000. Okay, amazing. You can absolutely get to the million, 10 million, 50 million, $1 billion if you want. But just remind yourself that it will take time, and it also takes the energy in your believability and your faith. So as you are leaning into and stepping into this life, we're not only building up our faith in ourselves, our faith in the universe, our faith and believability of everything around us, but we're also leaning into like what we would actually love. So everything again is a possibility, but remind yourself that you are also working towards it. Goals are not the be all end all. They are just to help you continue to make manifest your dreams. So maybe up until now, you didn't even have a goal for your life. Maybe you had no idea how to get there. So if we start with, let's say, $50,000 a year, how would you love to have it for 6 months? So we'll say we're starting January 1st, 2024, and you have a goal for the end of the year. We're going to have one for a halfway mark. And I love doing it also quarterly, so every 3 months. And then I also love to do it monthly. And then I have goals for a week and I have it for a day. And each of these are going to help build upon each other until we get to the year end mark. But this is where things, like I say, check-ins daily are really, really helpful because they allow you to be able to, one, continue to lean into your dream, to resonate with your dream, to ask yourself, is this what I would love? You may be far surpassing your goals, which is amazing. But if you're not continuously checking in with them, you don't know if you're on the right track or not. But when you allow yourself clearly defined goals and objective forms of data that you can measure, then it means that you are more likely to get there, even more likely to get there because you're the one putting your energy into it. And so when I make my targets, I love to have my entire year planned out. And then I'm like, okay, now every 3 months, where do I want to be at the end of these 3 months? Fantastic. I write it down. And then at the end of the month, if I know that I am here, like I'm meeting my goals, I should be along this line. If I'm a little bit off or if I'm a little bit ahead, amazing. We'll refine it from there. And again, this takes time. I love having mentors involved with this because sometimes I feel like my goals are up until now just very haphazardous, very kind of everywhere because I didn't yet understand or have the mental tools to be able to help guide me in that direction. So this is where I also love using the interwebs, but I also have my life coach, Catherine, who really helps me with being able to, well, make manifest even more, help clearly define and give more structure to the life that I would love to live. Something that I would love to leave you with today is you never change anything by fighting the existing structure. To change something, you have to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. This is a very powerful quote that I recently came across again because I wrote it down in my notes. And I was like, right. when you are venturing into the life that you have not yet lived, but you are slowly living into, slowly living into, slowly living into, there are going to be things that come up where you're trying to fight against, up until now, the life you have known. And you can't change everything about your life, because if you're trying to change it, it means you're focusing on the life that you have right now. But that means you're giving your life right now more energy. So now that you've clearly defined your vision, keep it in mind. And whenever the life of the familiar, the life that you're comfortably living, the life that is maybe not where you are going comes up because you're currently still living it, don't worry. Stop and breathe. And again, focus back on your vision, focus back on your dream. Remind yourself why you're holding it so sacred. Remind yourself about why this means so much to you. And then focus on it. Focus on how good it feels to live into this dream. Focus on how amazing it's going to be, even more so when you're living it even more and even more and even more. And it's something that I also want to remind myself as well, because up until now, there's a part of me that kept trying to change things. I said, when this changes, then I can feel better about it. Or when this changes, then everything will be great. I can box it into a perfect, present, tie it with a pretty bow, and everything will be awesome. But your dream is only going to make manifest when you continue to focus and put energy in on it. So now that you've clearly defined it, you've felt into who you need to be in order to live that life, and you've clearly defined some steps to take you there. Now continue to circle back to it. Continue to focus on your dream, because this is how it comes and emerges for you even more. And again, you are deserving of it. Again, it's going to take time. Again, it is so beautiful. And even when there are things that are going to come up to help dissuade you or kind of bring you off your path, don't worry. Just again, circle back, focus on your dream, if that's what you would love. Again, this is all just an experiment in life. These are guidelines and tools and maybe a little bit more structure to help you with living the life you've always wanted. Life is in your hands, nobody else's. And the more that you live into it, the more you try it on and have fun with it, the universe loves that. The universe loves play. The universe loves fun. The universe loves curiosity and, ooh, what's next? And that's where you can lean into it even more and wait for inspired insight. I hope you guys have a super duper tremendous, stupendous, and amazing day. I hope that this video was helpful for you and that you got some more insight, some more inspiration for just stepping into the life that you would love, and be playful with it, because it's so much more fun when we're less, and I'll point to myself here, less stressed out about making it a reality and more having fun with the fact that we can realize our dreams in whatever way that we want, however we want, and it's no worries. It's just all about the fun and living an even greater life every single day, knowing that our dreams will absolutely come into being. But until then, just enjoy the ride. For those of you who would love, I have the workbook out now. If you have been listening to this for the past little while, you've known that I've been working on this gratitude workbook, and it is finally released. Yay, stars, amazing. You can go check that out on my Patreon. It is listed under the gratitude workbook. What is included is a handy dandy video to help guide you through a lot of things that I touch base here, but in a much more refined way, in a structured manner for said workbook. And it is basically all about your gratitudes, your wins, clearly refining and defining your dream, and then also creating a better structure for actually making your dreams a reality. So check that out should you love it. And for those of you who have already, please let me know your feedback. I'd love to be able to grow upon it even more, so that in the future dates I can have an even greater workbook that allows far more fun and everything else you'd love to see in it. I had so much fun making it. So if you guys loved it, let me know. And for wherever you guys are listening to this, I would be very tickled if you could like, subscribe, and give a 5-star review and any sort of comments or questions for each of the video. It so helps in creating videos that you guys would love to listen to even more, and I love doing it. So thank you all for tuning in today, and I look forward to talking with you all very soon.
Thank you all for joining me today because it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about today's content and any inspirational words of wisdom you'd love to share. I'd also love if you would leave a 5-star review on whatever platform it is you're listening to this on, because it helps in creating even more awesome content. May your day be filled with only love and light, and I look forward to talking with you all real soon.